purpose of this demonstration video is to provide an overview of the teacher-student behavior observation form. Let's go ahead and take a look at a completed form. Before I get into the form and what's been captured here, what I'd like to do is highlight some things. First off, the teaching strategies key. What you'll notice here is a lot of Dr. Bob Marzano's work in high-yield instructional strategies. So one particular use for this form would be a school leadership team has crafted a school improvement plan, and it could be that one or more of these high-yield strategies has been identified as a task or an action step in this year's school improvement plan, and it's a way for both administrators and teachers through peer observation to dialogue and collect data surrounding their work regarding one or more of these instructional strategies. So it could be, for example, taking a look at the teaching strategies key, that B3, cooperative learning, is a focus for this year. So one of the things we might do as an administrative team is at a given point in time, let's say 4.5 weeks, we would sort our observations by observation form and analyze the data that's been collected regarding the teacher-student behavior observation form. So it could be we're looking at cooperative learning and then really breaking down lessons based on what the data has to say. Another use for this particular form could be that during a pre-observation conference we've met with the teachers, and a teacher has said, you know, this year I'd really like to work on classroom management, and that's a goal for me. And one of the issues I know we talked about last year had to do with transitions. So what I'd like to do is start off the year by using this particular form and really analyzing my transitions. And by that I mean, when you take a look at the activity column here, what it allows the observer to do is record specific moments and information that's taking place within a given portion of the lesson. So for here, from 11:15 to 11:20, the observer recorded that the teacher read aloud lesson objective and shared what activities would be taking place during today's lesson. So sometimes in post-observation conferences, once data has been collected through the use of this particular form, conversations such as, you know, I need to work on spending a little more time on the anticipatory set, or I see that I have not built in any lesson closure, I did not build in any lesson closure to that particular lesson. So again, some great dialogue as a result of the data that's collected via this particular form. Taking a look at the columns from left to right, I've talked about the activity and clock time. We have the teaching behavior key here. So it gives me an idea as the observer and feedback as a teacher exactly what it was the teacher was doing, the particular behavior during that particular portion of the lesson. The student behavior piece, I'm able to here to capture either on-task or off-task behavior. And in this particular example, I've recorded 2 on-task behaviors, N1, listening and watching, and N4, hands-on activity, responding appropriately. If I wanted to type 2 or 3 more behaviors in this particular cell, I could, and as shown on another video, when I go to print or email the teacher, that particular box does expand, so it captures all of the text that has been entered. Typically what I'm recording is what's happening, I guess a preponderance of the evidence, what I'm seeing mostly during that particular time. So it's not that I'm looking for every single behavior, but if I had to summarize the behavior for that particular portion of the lesson, in this case I jotted down N1 and N4. Teaching strategies I've mentioned earlier, going back to this particular column here. And then it could be that we've had grouping as a focal point this year for our school as well, and based on previous year's observations, perhaps using this particular form, we saw that there was a lot of independent work taking place, and so we were looking to incorporate more small group work this year. Or perhaps last year we saw that there was a really reliance on whole group instruction. So again, as a school leadership team, this is an excellent form to use to provide feedback, particularly when data is aggregated and examined from a grade level or a faculty standpoint, to be able to share that in a faculty or department meeting.